Hello, Brian. My name is Dave Pill, and I met you the other day at the Ogden Home Show. So what I like to do is I like to go around to these shows, and I'd like to talk to folks and meet people and check out their products. And then what I'll do is I'll go home and I'll do a little bit of research on their product and their business, and namely their website. And generally, I like to see where it pops up in the search results in Google, and as well as check out their competition and see how they stack up. So I like to dig deeper into the websites and see what makes them rank, why they're ranking, where they're ranking, and how they can improve. So if you don't mind, I'd like to invite you to sit back for the next 5 or 10 minutes, and I'll give you a few tips, tricks, and pointers on how you can get your website seen better, quicker in Google. So if that's fine, let's go ahead and start. So I'm on my Mac and I'm in my incognito mode, and I want to go cover this because a lot of times people will search for their own. They'll tell me, no, my website is fine. It shows up. I could search for my niche and and it shows up. But a lot of times it gives you a false sense of where you're at, because if you've ever looked at your website in your personal computer or your phone and you haven't cleared out the cookies and the browser history, then Google's actually going to place whatever site you've been looking at higher up because it thinks you really like that site. And so what you may see in the search may be different from your potential customers, and that's important because again, it gets a little confusing with people who think they're being seen, but they don't get any phone calls. And they can go to a different computer that they've never searched that before, and then they'll see that maybe they're not coming up as well as they thought. And I went ahead and did a search on for concrete restoration, Salt Lake City. By the way, this is a tool that I use. It's called Bright Local, and all it does is allows me to basically virtually put myself anywhere in the world. I'm actually in Tooele doing this search, but being that I got Salt Lake City here, if you come down, it's searching from Salt Lake City. So I figure most of your customers would be from Salt Lake City. Anyway, we'll talk about this search page as well. This is the ad section. They have on the top and the bottom, and don't think that if you pay for ads, that's what's going to get your website ranked. That's not how it works. Uh, Google, in fact, says they absolutely don't do that because that would ruin what they're doing with their search anyway. So it does help, people get seen better, but you pay for it. Now, there's ways to get seen better without paying for it, and that's what I'm going to show you. So here we have the map pack, and so these companies here have went ahead and went to, and this you might want to write this down. If I were you, I'd go to Google and then Google what's called Google My Business, and a page will pop up, and you can enter a profile. You enter your email and start building a profile for that. And once you hit submit, in about a week or two, Google will send you a postcard, and it's going to have a code on it, and you can go back to that website, enter that code, and then you'll be eligible to be in here. Now, you probably won't be number 1, 2, or 3 because it's kind of new. Your listing would be new, but there's a few things that you could do to get that pumped up as well. I went ahead and opened that show all places tab, and I don't think you've done that because I don't see you unless you're going under a different name that is different than Extreme Concrete Restoration, and you've entered it differently, then it's just not in there. So you might want to go ahead and do that. It would really help you out. And then so once you get that, you might want to go to your Chamber of Commerce and fill out a profile there. Google actually see that, and Chamber of Commerce is only one of many options of what you can do as far as getting your map listing ranked higher, pumped up. So uh, Better Business Bureau is another one. And at the end, if you have any more questions as far as getting your map pack listing ranked, go ahead and reply to this email and I'll help you. I'll go further into detail that with you. Um, but here's page 2 for concrete restoration in Salt Lake City. And unfortunately, Brian, I'm just not seeing your website anywhere. But we can fix that, and I'm going to show you how right now. And I've actually I did 3 pages of search and I didn't see anywhere. So this is how you fix that. Go to Google and type in steps to a Google friendly site, and this page will pop up. Okay. First thing that Google looks at when they are deciding how to rank or where to rank sites is what information you're giving your customers. Okay. They want you to provide high quality content on your page, especially the home page. Now, this has to be very relevant and authoritative. Um, it's the single most important thing you could do. If we flip back to your website, and what they're talking about content is to just the amount of words, of relevant words that have to do with your business, your location, and things like that. You've got Logan and Salt Lake, but you may want to add in there um, North Logan or North Ogden, South Ogden, Bountiful, all those little cities, but don't make it too spammy. Google can actually read it just like a human reads it. It can tell if it's spammy and it'll knock it down a little bit. So keep it natural. Don't overdo it, but make sure it's about 1,000 to 1,500 words. Next, we want to make sure that other sites link to your site. And what I'm talking about here is what's called backlinks. Now, backlinks are nothing more than other high value, very authoritative sites pointing to your site or referring your site. And there's many different ways you can get these. Typically, you can go to, you've seen comments, comment sections and web forums and stuff like that. Those are good ways to get backlinks for literally zero money. So, unfortunately, you can find places that you could buy these backlinks, but you don't want them to be unnatural. Google will see that. And, if you got a bunch of links from China and Japan and the Middle East, the Philippines, and stuff like that, Google's going to see that, and they're not going to like it. I'll dig a little bit deeper into this in just a second, and I'll show you how I can tell natural links from unnatural links. Next thing is you want to make your site easily accessible. We're talking about mobile devices here. I went ahead and did a search for yours. Went to Google, typed in mobile friendly test. I put your website in, and boom, you're a mobile friendly site, and you have nothing to worry about here. So you're doing good there, and that's awesome. So I'm going to go back to talking about those backlinks. I use this tool called Majestic, and what Majestic does is it'll dissect and look at all the backlinks that are coming into your site and how relevant they are. And then you could do this, I could do this with your competition. In fact, let's go ahead and do that right now. Let's take this guy. I got one here. Okay, so he has a trust flow of 10. His tropical trust flow is in the construction and maintenance industry, and his citation flow is 25. So basically what this tells me is Google knows about your site, it believes it's relevant, and right now it's I'm sorry, this is CDC restoration, and it gives this site a score of a 10 on the trust flow. Google understands that it's in the construction and maintenance topic, and this one basically it's just another number that shows. Now this is how much they trust you, and this is how many what's the flow like of the citations. They've got 18 external backlinks from 13 referring domains. If I go back, and that's basically what you'll get is you'll get a 10, around 10, 15, and 25 to 30 with this amount of backlinks from this amount of domains. Uh, you've gotten one backlink, and it was from the Bear River Valley Showcase, and they did a good job at giving you a good anchor text because that's what you need. Sometimes they'll give you a visit our website as anchor text, but Google sees this is one of the things when they're talking about that popularity contest, how many times people are actually looking for this specific keyword there, okay? Unfortunately, Bear River Valley Showcase isn't a very high authoritative content or a high authoritative website, so you don't get a whole lot of what is called link juice, okay? And these two numbers here would represent what we call link juice, and the higher you get, the better you'll be. I'll show you. In fact, I just had it. That's this guy. This is a company that I'm helping out in Austin, He's an asphalt guy. You know, he's up there at 25 and 31, not even really in the construction and maintenance topic. So once I get more backlinks pointed to him that are more relevant with construction and maintenance and road work and stuff like that, this will jump up even more. This is showing up on for the search best asphalt paving contractor in Austin. Um, it's not doing too bad. It's on page 1. It's sitting at the bottom at number 10, but that's totally fine. My contractor guy, he doesn't really care where it's at as long as he keeps getting phone calls. So I get it, and he's happy right now. So okay, so we've covered this, all the mobile stuff. I talked a little bit about backlinks. Facebook, do you have a Facebook page? So I look for concrete restoration in Salt Lake City. I don't see a Facebook page for your business unless you're going under another business name maybe. I don't know. But let's check out this guy, the CDC Restoration and Construction. Okay. So they pretty much do the same thing you do. They're in Salt Lake City. This is a competitor of yours. Basically, you would have to do what they do, but more and better. And I'm talking about obviously the actual service you provide, but I'm talking about on Facebook too. So they're fairly active. Well, let's see. As I say that, I see a gap in November to January. So maybe they're not very active. Okay, and they've got a few likes here and there. I'll make sure I won't click that. But they're not doing a very good job at engaging their audience. And what I mean by that is just, you know, they want people to like it, comment, and share. You know, you've heard everybody say that like on YouTube and stuff, but that's a legitimate thing. The more this thing is shared and the more that it's commented on and the more it's liked, the more that Facebook is going to jump it up in the search when people search for concrete restoration in Salt Lake City. So anyhow, and real quick, that paving site, this is what that looks like, and this is like I'm talking about that content or that all that 1,000 or 1,500 words. That's what it does. You know, it'll jump up your site from maybe 3, maybe page 4. It could jump it up to page 1 just on the content alone. I wouldn't count on that 100% because a lot of things go into play on that, but you know, I've definitely overloaded his site with quality content, authoritative and relevant. So that's the number one thing you might want to do if you want to get your website seen more in the internet, especially Google. Might save you some 600, 700 bucks going to these trade shows every time they're in town. You know, get you out there working and doing some concrete stuff. So anyway, I want to thank you for listening. I hope you're still with me. This is a lot longer than I wanted it to be, but hopefully I got the point across, and hopefully you gathered a few tips and tricks that you could take and maybe enhance your website. If you have any questions regarding this or anything else, go ahead and feel free to email me or just reply to this email, or better yet, visit my website, leadgenadvisor.com. I'll have it in the email. That is my website. What I do is I help people get their sites seen on Google. Thanks for your time. Again, I hope to hear from you in the future soon. Take care. Bye.